Overwatch is a game that I have owned for a couple years now and have only played a handful of times. I never really had any friends to play with and didn't really find the game to be all that fun until Overwatch 2 released, and that got a few of my friends to actually give the game a try, and we all have fallen in love with this game. The changes that they've made for Overwatch 2 have been major, and it's become an actually fun game now that I think that really anybody with any skill could enjoy as much as I have, if not even more. Now, to say that I'm good at this game is a very, very far stretch. I am quite average at this game, which with some time I'll probably raise that a little bit, but as it stands, I'm quite bad at this game, which is partially why I won't have many clips for this game, because I'm pretty bad at the game. But all that to say, Overwatch 2 has been an absolute breath of fresh air into this game from what I've seen, and that's what I've heard from a lot of people that have been devoted to Overwatch for a couple of years now. The change from 6 to 5 players on each team has been massive, and it getting lowered down to that amount has really limited to like 1 tank per team, and I play with the matchmaking thing where it's 1 tank, 2 damage, and 2 healing, and it has been a wonderful experience. And honestly, I enjoy playing all 3 of the types of characters. Like I said, there's tank, DPS, and healer, and they're very clear and very different types of characters. And there's a few that blur the lines between damage and healing and so forth, but for the most part, it's very clear what class each character is in, and that's honestly pretty good. Now, as for classes, let's talk about each of them individually, starting with the tank. The tank, clear by its name, is an absolute damage sponge. Backed up by the support class, it can make or break the game, and they can vary from Reinhardt with a shield to Wrecking Ball that is a literal ball and is extremely hard to use. I can't figure him out. I'm useless as Wrecking Ball. Or you can have Osira or Osirisa or whatever the fuck her name is. You get who I'm talking about. But she's my personal favorite. Really easy. I get it. I'm bad at the game, but she's very simple, has some pretty interesting abilities, whether she can raise her HP and her rate of fire, or spin her blade to block all damage for a second or two, to using the spear to stun an enemy. The tank is a lot of fun, and I enjoy playing the tank a good bit. I feel like I'm a decent tank, but then again, I do use a crutch character when I play tank. Now for the next class, DPS is probably my least played class. It is the sweaty nerd's favorite class, and I'd rather personally play something a little bit more important. Don't hate me, DPS mains, but support is more important. I'm sorry, but a good support is better than a good DPS. But that's my own personal opinion. I am sure of the game. My opinions aside, DPS has a lot of variety within the characters. You can play as McCree, is a lot of fun. I play him a good bit. His abilities are quite fun. I like getting up in people's faces behind the back lines, killing all the squishies. It can be a lot of fun. Or I can fuck around as Symmetra and spam the turrets and annoy the shit out of my enemies. That Symmetra is who I play in deathmatch before each match, and I piss my friends off with Symmetra. It's fun. It is a lot of fun. Now for the last class is support, and is probably the most important and my personal favorite. My personal favorite character within support class is Kiriko, which is one of the new characters that came with Overwatch 2, and her abilities to be able to teleport to a teammate, or to heal, or to deal damage. It's nice. Very well-rounded character, and can have a pretty high skill ceiling from what I can tell. Now, another favorite of mine is the Crutch, Moira. I thought she was overhyped until I actually gave her a try, and then I realized how much of a crutch character she is. Absolute blast. Just for those of you that use her as a crutch, you need to learn there are yellow health orbs. There's not just purple ones. She doesn't just do damage, she actually can heal her teammates. I know, crazy to think about that. Just a little nugget for you. But another favorite, Baptiste. Absolute classic. Perfect balance of damage to healing. Now as for the rest of the game, the maps, I don't really have much to say about them. I'm sure there's many people out there that can call out certain maps as being absolute dog shit compared to the rest. I don't really see them like that. I think they're all pretty alright. I guess I just haven't played the game enough to really have a hard opinion on certain ones. Beyond that, we have game modes. There's a large variety of them. There's a little bit for everybody. I personally play the unrated playlist with the matchmaking. I think that's honestly the best the game really has to offer. I can definitely see the ranked scene being a thing. It's just not for me. I'll probably give it a shot with my friends at some point, but for now I'm just sticking with the unrated. There's also the new like creative mode thing, which a friend of mine actually found a game mode where everybody plays as Genji and has to knock this ball around, and if the ball hits you, you'll die instantly, and you just have to continue deflecting it at each other, which is honestly sounds very boring, but is pretty fun. And there's a lot of other game modes like that on like the creative, I forget what the name is, but it's like creative mode. It's pretty cool, just like Fortnite creative, but in Overwatch, which they did a pretty good job on from what I can tell. Now that's pretty much the basics of the game, and that's pretty much what I wanted to cover. I don't really have as much knowledge about this game as I do others, which is partially why I didn't really want to do this video, but since it's newly free to play, I might as well bring a little bit more attention to it. It's definitely worth the free price tag, and if you don't enjoy it, too bad, just uninstall it. But for those of you that were on the fence about it, please give it a try. It's definitely worth the time, at least in my opinion. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. I think I'll put some clips after this. I don't know what clips I'm going to have. I don't really have many clips at the moment of recording this. Hopefully I'll get some more before I actually cut this and edit this all together. But if you enjoy, please leave a like. That'd be greatly appreciated, and enjoy the few clips I've got for you.
Heroes never die.
Now that's it for this video, and we come to the entertainment corner section, where I actually just recorded the Battlefield video like an hour or two ago, so there's nothing really fresh. But another show that I've been watching recently is Tokyo Ghoul. I I'm late to the party on that one. And I'm working on season 3. I'm a few episodes into season 3. It's not bad. The shift of perspective is different, but the first 2 seasons of the show, pretty solid. Very, I'm 14 and this is edgy, but the show is honestly pretty solid in my opinion. It was another one of those shows where I went into it thinking it was overrated and walked out of it thinking it was pretty solid. It's definitely not on my top tier of shows, but it's a solid show and it's definitely worth your time. That's all I really have for this video, so yeah, have a good day.